and yoginis. I should say yoginis and yogis, right? We are here in Mystic Fitness Yoga Studio on a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday morning. I feel like I keep repeating this, but it's true. We have beautiful weather. We have wonderful temperatures. Enjoy the outside. I am Nissa, and I invite you to sit down on the mat. And please remember 2 rules. Don't wait for me to tell you to drink water or take a break or just go into your zone. Don't wait for me. Do it. And the other rule is modify, modify, modify. You know yourself, listen to your body, either tone it down or challenge yourself. I will cue those changes, but you should listen to your heart. And with that, find a comfortable seated position and just take a minute to just feel where you are today. I love to just move the energy around my head a little bit, move my sitting bones, my spine, and only then relax. Your hands can be in your lower part of the body or on your thighs. And if your hands are in your lap, maybe feel your belly soften up with the breath. Let everything sink into the mat. And let yourself arrive. Everybody, a big breath in and let it go. One more time, big breath in and let it go. Keep on breathing normally and naturally for you, but keep that awareness of the air coming in and out, and try to smooth the stitches between the inhalation and the exhalation, so it's a one motion cycle. Pay attention to the muscles that are working for that smoothness of breath. And set an intention for your practice. Might be a big one, might be a small one. It's a good anchor to come back to during the practice. And on your next inhale, open your eyes and smile. I am smiling, I promise. And bring your hands up. You can gaze to your hands, but make sure your shoulders are down. Then tuck your tailbone just a tiny bit so your spine is neutral. Object that natural curve of the lower back. Make your core stronger. Keep on holding here and breathing. And on your next exhale, release the head back. Remember, the shoulders should not be crunching up or crunched up. Open the chest, but tuck the tailbone in. And on your next exhale, open the hands to a T. Palms of your hands facing up, bring your head forward to the center and then drop it, bringing the chin to your chest. Then try to bring the thumb as far to the ground as possible. So you're externally rotating those shoulders, lower them down. Your head is forward. Just open that area between the ears and shoulders. And then release the hands to heart center. Bring the head back up. Big breath in. And on your exhale, on your next inhale, rather bring your hands up again and start bending from side to side. And I remind you to make your core strong. You don't want to twist or stretch anything side bending in the warm-up. Next time you're on the left side, and I'm not mirroring you guys, put the left hand on the ground. Inhale, stretch as far as you can, and on your exhale, come lower. Take it to the other side. Right hand on the ground. Inhale, stretch as far as you can. Exhale, bend over. Try to keep that chest open. And come back to center. Take a twist to the left. And here at the beginning, I never look to the back. I'm very, very respectful of my neck. Some people need to warm up before looking to the back. That's me. And take it to the right. Left hand can be over the thigh or in between the legs if you don't need to push too hard. One more breath here. And come back to center. Walk the hands forward as far as is comfortable and release the neck. Maybe your forehead touches the ground, maybe not. It doesn't matter. Just release the head. Say no. Yeah? I feel like Nancy Reagan. Just say no. I just dated myself, you guys. And walk the hands to about a step or two over or ahead of your legs. Push yourself forward and meet me in table. So table proper is wrists under the shoulders, knees under your hips. Reason being, we want to stack our joints. We want to create kind of like a solid foundation to all poses. Untuck your tailbone, let your belly drop before you do anything in the upper body. And then just wag your tail with your tailbone untucked. That's a lot of tail in one sentence. And just move it from side to side. Then tuck your tailbone in as far as you can. Again, don't pay attention to the upper body at the moment, just the tailbone. Tuck it in as far as you can and suck that belly in. Then untuck, and this time roll the shoulders back. Look up. Inhale. Tuck the tailbone in, and this time release the neck, rounding the upper back, opening the shoulder blades. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And please move forward and back if you need. Explore the cats and cows that your body is asking for. Maybe once again moving to the sides, wagging the tail in cows and cats. Maybe even circling the pelvis in between those two. Try to marry the movement to your breath. Once you do that, you actually meditate, right? And then come back to neutral back, which is a tiny bit of a tuck of the tailbone. You push the mat away with your hands, broad base with opening the fingers, but you don't round your scapulas. Think about a glass of water just in between those two shoulder blades, not moving, completely horizontal. Inhale, push back to child's pose. Release the head. Toe heel, or rather finger heel, the fingers forward. As far as you can, stretch that back. Leave the hands as forward as you can. Come up to table and straight away to a modification of upward dog. So my hips are not floating, but I'm untucking the tailbone, opening my chest. One more time, a wave-like motion to child pose with your exhale. And inhale, wave-like motion to a modification of upward dog. And come back to table, tuck your toes under. Lift the knees, engage the core. Lift one leg, it doesn't matter which one, I'm going with the right one, and circle the leg in its hip socket. Now, there's no real form for it. Just keep on tucking the tailbone and then switch directions. Maintain neutral back and push the mat away. Release the leg to the ground and take it to the other side while the other leg is hovering. So circle the leg in the hip socket, one direction, and breathe, and then to the other direction. Release the leg to the ground, release the knees to the ground. Come up on your heels, stretch the feet, circle those wrists a few times. Shake, shake, shake. You can do whatever here. You can do magnetic wrists to one direction and the other. You can do the policeman. This is my new thing. We rarely move our wrists this way, right? So that's what I'm doing. You can also call it washing your head. Shoop, shoop, shoop. And bring back the hands to table. Untuck the toes, give a little bit of a tap, tap, tap. And you guys, we are ready. Tuck your toes under, shoot your hips up and back to downward dog. First downward dog for me today. So I'm bending the knees plenty. And just opening the back by rolling those shoulders away from my ears and releasing the neck actually. Just release. Big breath in and let it go. Look forward. Bend your knees plenty and walk to meet your hands. Forward fold. Bend your knees plenty still and release the head. Hands can do whatever. They can just hang there or hold opposite elbows. We are just letting the head be lower than the heart. So important. Just one wholesome breath here. And on your next exhale, bring your hands to your thighs and push yourself up to a standing position. And as I always say, standing neutral is fighting that curve, right? That curve. we are tucking the tailbone in, pushing those hips forward a little bit. And pay attention to your rib cage. It's not going to flare up. It's going to come in. This is one unit. Then the shoulders. Open them up. Hands facing the front will help you. Look at the rising sun. Engage the glutes a little bit. Drill those toes and feet into the ground. You are strong like a mountain. You can do anything. Release that tension and bend your knees, but don't let go of that tucking of the pelvis and the opening of the chest. Take the right hand over, sweep it over to the left, bend it, and look at yourself as if this is a mirror. And then continue looking at your reflection till the right hand goes back. Let's do the same with the other hand. Left hand sweeps under, bends over, becomes your mirror. Look at yourself, take it to the other side. Do that a few times with your breath. Just look at yourself. You are strong and beautiful. One more time to each side, and we'll add the legs. So, right hand goes up. That's my mirror. I'm gonna step on the left, and when coming back to the right, step on the right. So all I'm doing is this, okay? From side to side. And my hands will do whatever they were doing. Find your groove. There's no right or wrong. These are cloud hands. And in Tai Chi, they serve you to move the chi around you. A few more times, you can go even deeper, bending the legs. But keep that gaze on your hand. It will control the surrounding, but will focus you on your body. And on the next time you're in the center, come on back up. Toe heel those feet, back to the middle. Inhale, circle sweep the hands to the sky. And exhale, forward fold, hinging from the hips, pushing the hips back, not the knees forward. On your inhale, halfway lift, straight back, neutral, like in table. Exhale, hands to the mat. Push those legs back to plank. If plank is not in your practice, lower the knees. Try to stack the wrists under your shoulders once again, also in the width of where your hands are. Tuck the tailbone in, engage the glutes. Don't round your upper back. Just push the mat away. Inhale and exhale. You're getting stronger every time you do a plank. And we're going to come down to the mat on the count of 6. So pull those elbows in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the tucking of the toes. Leave the hands next to you. Engage the legs into the mat. Engage the glutes. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your chest. Baby cobra. Then look down. Extend your cervical spine. Breathe. One more breath. And release to the mat. Push to table. Push to child's pose. Beautiful. I almost said in Spanish. To lindas. Breath here. Before you straight ahead go to downward dog. And walk the dog. This time around, maybe you're warmer, so you can straighten your legs and lower your heels to the ground. But if not, keep those knees bent. On your next exhale, bend those knees plenty, look forward, walk or hop to meet your hands. Forward fold. If you need a little bit more of a challenge here, try to straighten your knees. Grab hold of behind your legs wherever you can and pull in from the hinge, from the hips, hinge from the hips. It's not a spine movement. It's the hips. And then release. On your inhale, come all the way up, back to Tadasana. Circle, sweep the hands up. Exhale, heart center. Open the hands. Come back to the yoga, to your intent. Inhale, circle, sweep the hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Maybe jump back to plank or walk. It's up to you. Chaturanga Dandasana is next, but you have the option to come down and to do the baby cobra as we did before. Your choice. Chaturanga Dandasana, push forward. Halfway down. Untuck your toes. Inhale, upward dog. My thighs are floating. Exhale, tuck your toes under. Downward dog. Breathe in and out. On your next inhale, right leg goes up to the air. Bend it and then push the leg back to the left backside. If you want, you can flip the dog here. If you flip the dog, push those hips up, engage the glutes, and stack your shoulder over your wrist. Come back to three-legged dog. Straighten the leg. Lift the back heel. Bend the leg to your chest and step it not in between your hands, but behind them, like a step behind them, a foot behind them. Setting up for warrior one. Lower the back heel. Come on right up. Now, I don't know about you, but I need to adjust. So take the time to adjust. Maybe open the feet a little bit. Maybe the back foot opens to the side. No matter where you are, stack the knee over the heel and then square the hips to the front. Lower the shoulders, hands up. Tuck the tailbone in. It's a small adjustment. It will help you square the hips. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Pull those shoulders down and humble the warrior. Once you're done humbling, you can lift your hands up. If that is not available for you, you can always hold a towel behind you and just go up like so, okay? One more breath. Keep on engaging the feet into the mat. That keeps the hips square. Lower those hands back to the sacrum. Engage core and come on back up to warrior one. Lifting the hands. Push forward with the back toes. Bringing the left leg right where the right leg is to chair. So in chair, look down. Do you see your toes? Can you wiggle them? Great. Then tuck the tailbone in. Give you the side view, guys at home. I'm not here. I'm here. Hands can do whatever. Zombie hands, heart center, or proper chair. One more breath. And release yourself forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Maybe jump to plank. One breath here. Hold the plank. Hold yourself in plank or lower your knees. Either way, you are getting stronger by tucking the tailbone in and breathing. Chaturanga Dandasana is next, or baby cobra. So push forward, halfway down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Once again, come to stillness. Roll those shoulders away from your ears. Release the head. Push the hips up and back. And on your next inhale, left leg goes up. Bend it and push it back. Now you can stay here, opening your hip, or flip the dog. Once again, stacking the shoulder over the wrist, pushing hips up. Bring it back to three-legged dog. Square the hips, lift the back heel, bend the leg, and step it a foot behind your hands, setting up for warrior one on the other side. So again, take the time to adjust and find that beautiful setup, lowering the shoulders, squaring the hips. I keep on thinking about something in between my thighs. So my inner thighs are working and my hips rotate to the right position. Just me. It could help you. And on your next exhale, so inhale while I'm talking, push forward. Bring the left leg. Oh, I'm sorry, go back. We didn't humble the warrior. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Oh, that's crucial. I really am craving that. Open your chest and humble the warrior. Once down, bring those hands up. 2 to 3 breaths here. While you're down, make sure you are still activating the inside of your thighs. And come on up, lower the hands, then the body, then up. Jump the gun right there. Push forward. Bring the left leg to meet the right, straight into chair. Tuck that tailbone in, engage the lower core. And if you want, you can go lower, only if you want and feel like it. Again, 2 to 3 breaths here. We're enduring this position, the awkward position with Katasana. And release forward. Inhale, halfway lift, straight back, or neutral rather. And exhale, hands to the mat, jump back to plank or walk, your choice. As you can see, I always adjust. Nothing wrong with that. Keep on breathing. Tuck the tailbone in, engage the glutes. Breathe and open that back. Open, but don't round it. I know it's counterintuitive, but try it. Then lower yourself to forearm plank and do the same. And remember, if this is not in your practice, lower the knees. Roll the shoulders back. Push through the elbows into the mat. Tuck the tailbone in and breathe. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release yourself to Sphinx. So only the thighs down, untuck the toes. Look up, roll the shoulders down. I like to release the head at some point and just let it roll from side to side. next inhale, bring yourself back up. The head up. And maybe, if it's in your practice, come to seal. Not before you activate your glutes. Maybe not all the way, maybe here, but higher than Sphinx. One more breath. And release all the way down to the mat. Open your hands to a T. Bend the left leg, and push it to the right. So you are rotating on your right shoulder, pushing the left leg back. Once it meets the ground, open the knee. Now, if you want more, bring the left hand behind you as well. You can either grab your foot behind you on the ground, or if you see Corina here, straighten your leg. It's up to you. One more breath here, and bring it back slowly. We always come out of stretches as slow as you can. In fact, all poses. Okay, I'm going to move this away because last time that I did, the audio went. So you learn, you live and learn. Take it to the other side, bend the right leg, pull it up, and then start pushing it to the back. To the back of the left side, right? Rolling onto your left shoulder. Right hand can do whatever. It can stay here or come around, trying to meet the foot and open again. Or maybe straighten the leg, like Corina. And bring it back. So important to stretch in between hard work, not only after the whole thing. Push yourself to table and back to downward dog when you feel the need. So table, tuck your toes under. And downward dog. Take the time if you need to do whatever. Drink water, use your towel. Just know I will be waiting for you. Nobody's running nowhere. Take the time in downward dog to breathe. To actually breathe, you guys. And on your next inhale, right leg goes up again. Left heel goes up, bend to your chest. This time stepping it right in between your hands. On your next inhale, come up to a high lunge. Bring your hands over your head, creating one line between the fingers and the back heel. You can do that thing of holding something in between your thighs again to have those hips square. Breathe, and on your next inhale, bend the back knee, tuck the tailbone in, and come to crescent. Lower those shoulders. I tend to crunch them up. Lower them. Open to a twist to the right. Hands in a T. Breathe. Square those hips. You're working the QL here and the obliques. It's beautiful. Inhale, exhale. On your next exhale, if you want, you can bend to the back. Inhale, come back to crescent with your breath. And on the exhale, come back to high lunge. Just as we did before, we're going to push forward and come to chair. Endure the burn. I feel it here on my right side more. Can't wait to do it on the left. If you can and want, go lower. Hands can do whatever. Tuck the tailbone in. And release forward. Cha-cha-cha the legs just for a tiny bit. And inhale, halfway lift. Strong core, you guys. Exhale, hands to the mat. Maybe jump to plank. Or walk. Your choice. We're going to go down to the mat on the count of 6 and then right back up in the count of 6. So tuck those elbows in. Stack your joint. And let's do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Going up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chaturanga Dandasana. Push forward. Halfway down. Upward dog. Downward dog. Walk the dog. And know, every time I say Chaturanga Dandasana, you can do the baby cobra, okay? Big breath here. And on your next inhale, left leg goes up. Lift the back heel. Bend the leg to your chest and step it in between your hands. Come all the way up to a high lunge. Again, bringing the hands over your head. Tilt that right hip down. Create that tension in between your thighs. 2 breaths here. We're holding up for dear life. And then, on your next exhale, bend the back knee and come to crescent, tucking the tailbone in even more. Yeah, that's the base right there. This is what you want to be. Now, if you're stable, open to a twist. 2 breaths here. We're holding today for dear life. On your next exhale, so inhale while I'm talking, bend back. Oh, that feels so good. And bring it back with your breath to crescent and back to high lunge. The hands behind you in airplane mode. Push yourself forward, back to chair. Try to do it as slow as possible. And chair. Oh, now 2 legs are firing up the same way. 1 breath here. Come onto the balls of your feet, of your toes, and down. Come up and down. Tuck the tailbone in. 1 last time. Up. And release yourself to a forward fold. Cha-cha-cha the legs. I need to wipe my sweat. It's coming into the mic. That's it. On your next inhale, halfway, lift, strong back. Exhale, hands to the mat. Jump to plank. Or walk. On your next inhale, bring the left hand to the center and rotate those heels back to the left. Open to a side plank to the right. I'm sweating today. I love it. If you need more, lift that top leg up. If you need less, bend it and put it in front of you. Modifications, you guys. Push those hips up. Release the leg and come back to proper plank. Breathe, tuck the tailbone in and take it to the other side. Right hand in the middle, bring those toes together, push the hips up and make them straight. Side plank on the other side. If you need more, lift that leg. Keep on pushing. 1 more breath and release the leg. Come back to plank. Release the knees to the ground and come to child pose. Breathe in and out. and come back up. Whenever you're ready, you guys, to hero's pose. My sinuses are opening up. My sweat is pouring. I would never, ever thought, I'm going to say it, but it feels so good. Okay. Release yourself. Maybe have a drink of water here. Just come back to the intention of your practice, whatever that may be. Bring the hands behind you, interlace them behind your sacrum, open the chest, but don't go and do this. I'm going to show you at home. Don't go and do this. See how my back is curving? Tuck the tailbone in and just open the pectoral muscles, rolling that chest up and the shoulders down. I am not activating my lower back at all. You can open your head up, come back, and bring those hands in front of you, back to table. Tuck toes under, back to downward dog. Inhale, right leg goes up. Left heel, bend the right leg to your chest. Move over your wrists and step it. The right leg in between your hands, coming up, lowering the back heel to warrior two. So here, once again, take a minute to see if you're stacked. Am I stacking my shoulders over my hips, opening to the side? Is my knee over the heel? Great. Once you have that and you're tucking the tailbone in, rolling the shoulders down, look to the right hand. Flip the front hand, reverse the warrior. Left hand can do whatever. Keep on activating those feet into the mat as if you're trying to tear it. Inhale, come back to exhale, warrior two. Now forearm to front thigh, left hand to the sky. Breathe, lower those shoulders, push the hips forward, and maybe if you want a challenge, bring that hand in front of you, or bond like Corina is doing behind me. One more breath. Exhale, come back to warrior two, and bring the right leg to straighten up and be parallel to the left. And I'm going to switch sides for the sake of the folks at home. Also the people in here, they don't need to see my tush. Although they see it anyways. Double whammy here. All right, open your hands to a 5-pointed star. As usual, I can record myself on this one. Tuck the tailbone in, lower the shoulders before engaging into any motion of the spine. Your core should be engaged. So come all the way down to a wide-legged forward fold. If it's not in your practice to go all the way down, put your hands in front of you. Just hold it here, but release the neck. If you are a bendy type and you like more, then you can bring the hands to hold your heels and push forward. So the secret here is to shift your weight onto your toes and push those hips up, just as we're doing in downward dog. So on your inhale, push down or pull down, and on your exhale, lift those hips a little bit more. And then release all activation, and everybody bring the hands in front of you and then walk them forward a little bit to halfway between downward dog and plank with open legs. A bit weird, but so nice. Now release the back, just as you do in downward dog. Open those scapulas, release the head down, and breathe. Then bring the hands a little bit closer, but still away from the legs, and bend one leg and then the other while holding yourself, right? So if you want to challenge yourself and you want to come up without holding yourself with your hands, I would recommend to bring the heels just a tiny bit in and then do the same. The trick is not to lift the feet. So you see, this is called snake in Tai Chi, and you can bring the hands we learned in the beginning into it. So if you grab a visual, I am doing it, but you can build yourself to it by just helping yourself with the hands. This is ankle mobility and hips mobility. So once again, snake here, a few more times in each side, and come back to hands in front of you. Bring those feet to be parallel if you shifted them. Engage the core, micro bend the knees, and come all the way up. Bend the right leg and point forward. So coming back to warrior two. And you know what I like, a little bit of dance. So shift the back leg and the back hand to meet the front, but do it with your heart. So I'm gonna hop and standing in front. And I switch sides again. Inhale, circle, sweep the hands to the sky. This time stay, hands together, bring them down to heart center, drop the head back, engage glutes, a little bit of a back bend, very tiny. Come back up, bring the hands behind you in prayers, behind your back. Yes. And do the same. Drop the head, engage the core, engage the glutes, a little bit of a back bend. Open those shoulders. Inhale, come back up. Let go of the hands, circle, sweep the hands to the sky. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. So rotate yourself to a side plank on your forearm. So I'm rotating and lowering my hips, lowering my forearm, okay? And then lifting myself up, all right? Yes, absolutely. Now if straight legs is hard, you can bring the top leg in front. Open the right leg, and we're gonna pump up 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. So now we're on forearms, it's easier. Bring the elbow under your shoulder. Side plank. Right hand, left hand goes up. Try to stack the hips, going up 5 times. Up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rotate back to forearm plank. 1 breath here. Tuck everything in and come down to Sphinx again. Breathe, untuck your toes, roll those shoulders down, maybe release the head. Stretch that core. Maybe sway from side to side. I like to bring some somatic movement here. Then bring the head up. And just as we did before, you can stay here or engage the glutes for dear life and come to seal. Just to take it a little bit deeper. And release yourself down. Open your hands to a T. and just windshield your legs. Just for a little while. Then bring it back. The hands, bring back. Push to table. And tuck your toes under. Downward dog. If you need, once again, don't wait for me to tell you to drink or to do whatever. I will wait in downward dog. There's plenty to do in downward dog. Great. I hope everybody is with me. And on your next inhale, left leg goes up. Lift the back heel. Bend it to your chest. And step it in between your legs, lowering the back heel. Setting up for warrior two. Yes. So again, take a moment to actually feel the pose. Your body is completely open to the right side. Your head is the only thing that is looking onto the left hand. Left knee over the left heel. Flip the front hand and reverse the warrior. Right hand can do whatever. Keep on stretching that mat with your feet. And bring it back to warrior two with your breath. And side angle. Forearm to thigh. Right hand to the sky. I think I just rhymed. If you need more, bring the left hand in front of you. So you are relying only on your core. One more breath. And bring it back to warrior two. Tuck that tailbone in. Then straightening the left leg. Bring the foot to be parallel to the right. But then toe heel the legs so you're at the width of the mat. Bring those heels forward. Inward. The toes are forward. And just sit. Now this is kind of like a gorilla sitting. I'm going to show you at home. So never this, right? We know this. We do this. Now once we do this, the hands are free, right? Try that. Shift from hand to hand, from leg to leg. Beautiful. This is the mobility I'm looking for when we come up and we just move from side to side. And what is actually driving the mobility here is your pelvis. So just move from side to side. Now, if your pelvis is not movable, move from your thighs. The pelvis can stay straight. Move from your thighs. If you want more. Now, pay attention. My hands are the opposite side than my hips. My hips go right, my hands go left. And then just do whatever. And as you do that, come lower and lower, maybe opening the legs a little bit more. And as opposed to everything I said before about tucking the tailbone in, this is where you just let it loose. And try to make it your own. At some point, just come up, straightening it up. Yes. Bring your hands to your hips or your thighs. A big breath here. Bring the feet to be parallel. Open your hands and breathe. 5 pointed stars. We'll do what we did before, hands to heart center. This time pushing the hips forward and the tailbone, opening the chest, back bend. Tiny back bend, activate the glutes. And come back up. Hands behind you. And once again, activate the glutes always. And back bend. Come on back up. Open to 5. A pointed star. Left leg points to the front of your mat, room, or whatever. Bend the knee. Warrior 2. Bring the back leg and the back hand to meet the front. And take a minute. Drink water. I will. Maybe your sweat needs to come off like mine. And whenever you're ready, stand on the back side of your mat. In Tadasana. Remember all those little cues. Try to find that centering feeling that I always see in rocks. You know, when you stack them in the river and they absolutely use no energy. That's where you want to be. And then shift your weight into the left, the right. The left leg is going to come up, but the right leg is going to drill into the mat. Left leg comes up. Your hands is your choice. You can hold them here. You can open them, heart center, your choice. Side of the body, whatever. Now circle your heel just to make sure that movement is not going to throw you off. And open the leg to the left, maybe holding it with your left hand on the knee, or coming to Raja, holding your toe. Bring it back slowly to the center. Do not lay it on the ground. And take it to the right. So pull over. Hold that knee in front of you to the right with your right hand. You might want to straighten the leg. I'm going to stay here. And release the leg in front of you, 5 kicks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it in front of you, setting up for pyramid pose. Interlace the fingers. You can choose either on the hips or interlacing the fingers behind you, whatever your practice is calling for. So once you are set up and your hips are square, start hinging down from the hips, engaging the core, you guys. Always micro bend the front knee. When your hips say, okay, that's it, I can't go any further, then you can release your head, tucking the chin in, maybe bringing the forehead to your knee. At this point, if your hands are behind your back, you can lift them. So humbling the pyramid or holding the hands behind your back in prayer like our friend Corina here is doing. Corina, you are my model today. And every day, actually. And then come on back up, engaging the core. Don't let the hips come out of their squareness. Being square is good, right? Just say no, like Nancy Reagan. Release the hands. Bring the back leg to meet the front. A little bit of a cha-cha-cha, just to reset. So we're going to the other side. First of all, every time you come to a balance pose, come back to the yoga. Come back to that inner strength. Has nothing to do with balance. Well, a little bit, but it's more about determination. And then shift your weight into the left leg. Engaging the glutes, bringing the right leg up. Again, reminding you your hands are your choice, or rather, need. Circle the heel just to make sure the movement is there and you're not thrown off by it. And open the right knee to the right. Holding here is beautiful, you guys. Or opening to Raja, holding the big toe. I'm pushing those hips forward, just so you know. And release slowly. Bring it to the front. And then to the left. So here, you see I'm already in a jam. It is so weird for me. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to work slowly and maybe hold the knee. One more breath and to the front, 5 kicks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it. Whew. And now set up to pyramid pose. Your hands again are your choice. Either hips or interlace them behind your back, or hands in prayer behind your back, whatever float your pyramid. They don't float, but we do. And don't lock the front leg, ever. Square the hips and hinge down. Breathe. Once you are down and your hips are like, okay, that's it, then release the head. Maybe tucking the chin in. Pushing those hips back will help. And then bringing the hands up if they are on your sacrum. Keep on pushing into the mat with your feet. One more breath here. And then release the hands to your sacrum. Engage the core and come on up without locking the front knee. Bring the back leg to meet the front. And breathe. Bring the feet to the width of the mat. By my calculation, you're kind of like on the third front of the mat, which is great. Bring those heels in. Hinge from the hips, come to a squat, a yogi squat. Try not to elevate the heels, but if you absolutely need to, then do so, okay? Great. Just checking that I'm not disconnecting you guys at home. And just hold it here for 2 to 3 wholesome breaths, plural. If you can, do this at home as much as you can. I browse my Mystic Fitness newsletter like this. I do. It's so important. Now, another tweak, a really nice tweak, activate the glutes. You'll grow taller. This is without, this is with. It's a tiny tweak. It's so nice for the hips because they learn not to just sit on the joint, but to have all the muscles around support you. And then release the bum bum and release the legs forward. A stretch is in the books, so we'll do it. And here I give you again the option of rounding your back forward or straightening your back. Either way, you'll stretch the back of your legs, but if you go round and forward, your hips are more in the game, and if you straighten your back and go forward, it's more of the lower back. Small, acute differences. You play by what your body says. And then come on right back up. Big breath here. And bring the soles of your feet together. Open the legs and flap, flap, flap. Just a tiny bit of relaxation to this area. If you want, you can go all the way forward to stretch completely everything around the outer edges of the thigh, including the hip flexors. If not, just keep on sitting still, maybe opening those hips by just breathing, right? If you breathe and let them relax, beautiful things happen. And come on right back up. Position both legs, the left leg on the bottom, the right leg on top. So try, not a necessity at all, but try to bring knee above knee. Not a necessity, you can be here, okay? But try. You never know, you might be there today. And we're going to twist to the right, left hand over the right thigh. Go all the way. This time you can look to the back with your head. And I like to add a little thing here. I take the left hand and I push the knee down, or the forearm, whatever. So what I'm doing is I'm stretching the whole area of QL obelisks on the right side. Lower those shoulders and push that knee down. Release. Take it to the other side. Switch the legs. And once again, take it to the left. Right hand over the right thigh. Twist. This time I'm looking to the back. And then only if I feel like it. And two sides are never the same. So pay attention to that. Maybe lower that knee. Maybe with the forearm. But keep those sitting bones on the ground. So I feel it on the left QL. And I love it, but if you don't, or you feel a sharp pain, come out of it. And come back to the center. Position your legs on, your feet on the mat. And come all the way down to your back. So the counter pose to what we did right now is right leg on top of the left and open it all the way. A few pointers here. You can push your thigh, your right thigh, with your right hand or a block, and you can bring the left leg into your chest. Interlace your fingers on the shin and pull it in. If you do so, your lower back is on the mat, and also your shoulders. So the opening is happening in the hip, and you're not crunching up. Big breath. And just keep on breathing into it. Maybe releasing everything else that doesn't need to be stretched, like your jaw, like your core, or your heel. And release down. Switch legs. Left leg on top of the right thigh. You can stay here. This is beautiful. Just keep on opening the right hip with your right hand. If you have a yoga block, you can push into the thigh. And if you need more, Lift that right leg into your chest. Keep the left foot flex. Interlace the fingers on your shin and pull in, reminding you to lower the shoulders. Beautiful round breaths here. Just letting the mechanics of the pose do the job, not the muscles. One more breath. And then come out of it. Open your hands to a T and windshield the legs until you feel a sweet, sweet spot where you can leave both legs to the side. Whichever side you are is fine. We're going to do the other. If leg upon leg is not comfortable, put something in between your legs, even your hand. And then play around with the angle of the legs. Maybe if they're bent closer to your body, it's easier. Or the other way around. Again, release the shoulders to the mat. And breathe. On your next exhale, engage the core, glue the back to the mat, the lower back, and the legs are just going to come up and then drop them to the other side. Once on the ground, release the core. Once again, lower the shoulders, play around with the angle of the legs. Maybe put something in between your knees. A pillow would do fine if you're at home. And keep on breathing. 2 more breaths. And whenever you're ready, after those 2 breaths, position yourself back to center using the core. Do whatever you need before coming to Shavasana. You can come to Shavasana with a block behind your sacrum or a pillow. You can bend your legs with your feet on the ground, or proper Shavasana, which is proper just by definition. Doesn't mean it's proper for you. Release all activity from your body. Let those muscles relax. And let your nervous system know you are safe. And we're pretty simple in that way. All you gotta do is breathe. Deep, deep breath. Inhale profoundly and exhale profoundly, more than you do during the week. Let your heart rate calm down. And let your mind Just wonder. Big breath in. And let it go. One more time. Big breath in. And let it go. Whenever you're ready, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, maybe circle your wrists. Maybe sway from side to side up until you push yourself to one side in a fetal position. And then push yourself back up to a seated position, but only if you want. You can always stay on your back. We're going to close the practice with the sacred sound of Om. First, a cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and Om. Namaste. Thank you for practicing in the studio and at home with me. Have a great day.